I'm Jules.
And I'm Jason.
And we doing Pittmographies.
Oh, it's Pittsmas, everybody.
Yeah, we're loving them and we're living them.
Are we still in December?
Who knows anymore?
Yeah, we don't know.
It's the next year or whatever.
We're really on a great run of Brad Pitt movies right now.
Yeah, it's the highlight of my life. He was in this movie. It's called Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Legend of the Seven Seas.
Hell yeah. You watched the Sinbad stand-up special?
I did.
Joking.
Afros and bell-bottoms. I watched a majority of it.
Did you say, is he funny?
No. He's really good at performing. It's weird. Like, there's a bit where he's like, what did he say? He would have been a house N-word if given the chance. He'd been in the house. Oh, yes, massa. This food's real good, and he's looking out the side. You dumb field N-words.
Well, I mean, of the situation, that's the best spot around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a total spineless coward, obviously you're gonna...
You're a race trader, but hey, you get to live in the big house and eat the good food.
So this movie is an animated feature film production.
Have you all seen it? Are you fans of Sinbad and the Seven
Seas? I keep getting this confused with... What do I keep getting this confused with?
Jason and the Argonauts?
No, I don't know. It had an estimated budget of $60 million.
Who put this... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, $60 million? Who put this out? Is this a DreamWorks?
Yeah.
Please tell me more about this thing.
Yeah, in fact, it
sank DreamWorks.
Was the last hand-drawn animated film from DreamWorks Animation. Although there was
quite a bit of
decent
CGI.
Amount of CGI. Yeah. Mostly the background. And
dated CGI. I mean, sometimes the background's fine, right?
Yeah, sometimes it works really well.
Check out my Kraken. And it's like, that Kraken looks like shit.
Yeah, when they're really speedboating through the waves. I was like, I'm nauseous again.
Yeah.
It only grossed worldwide $80 million.
Yeah.
I think they said overall it lost like $125 million.
Yeah.
You believe that?
I totally.
Brad Pitt is the absolute worst.
What a terrible choice.
He is not a voice actor.
No.
Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michelle Pfeiffer destroying it. Keith David, Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, he is awful. He's the worst for my money.
Michelle Pfeiffer, pretty hot in this.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. Yeah. I remember this from being like little and being kind of, feeling funny towards hot cartoon ladies.
Yeah.
She's so fucking hot in this.
Yeah,
and
her
so
voice
sexy.
is so good in here.
She's like a little sex kid.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is fantastic as well.
She's in that bathtub at one point.
Yeah.
But it's the sea and it's like,
just succulent.
You trying to give me a child boner? Is that what's happening here?
So this trivia factoid here.
Is this the one?
I knew this was... No. Yeah, I hate this movie. And I hate Brad Pitt.
When are you going to blow my mind?
That's the bombshell. I don't like Brad Pitt anymore.
Oh, that's your bombshell?
Yeah. I dislike him. I think I like certain Brad Pitt movies, but overall, I absolutely I don't like him at all.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Maybe we'll take next Pittsmas off.
But this factoid backs up what I had a strong suspicion of throughout this movie.
Okay.
Brad Pitt and Catherine Zeta-Jones did not meet until the premiere. Michelle Pfeiffer and Catherine Zeta-Jones didn't meet until the morning they were scheduled to appear on a daytime talk show to promote this film. You could just hear in all of the performances that they're just reading to someone and they're saying, maybe be a little bit more agitated, as opposed to like a Fantastic Mr. Fox, where they actually recorded all of their audio together and were bouncing off of each other. Dennis Haysbert is just absolutely horrible in this movie.
Okay.
All of his line deliveries sound bizarrely removed, and like he's just like saying the lines with no idea what the hell is going on in this movie.
Well, hey man, at least he's delivering that in a forgettable, boring movie.
That's very true. In a forgettable, boring way as well. Sinbad's dog, Spike. I didn't know that was the dog's name. Spike.
I think he calls him that, but
I'm sure he does. He was more popular in screen tests than Sinbad himself.
Yeah, Sinbad's a terrible character.
So they put more Spike scenes in. It's one of those things where he's like so referential to what would be contemporary at the time the movie came out, but is obviously centuries too far removed from the time the movie takes place. It just feels so stupid.
Yeah.
I really, really, really hated this. So this is another thing, because Brad Pitt is just Brad Pitt. Catherine Zeta-Jones, I didn't know who she was at the time, So she is quintessentially just Catherine Zeta-Jones, but none of these people represent the historical and ethnic makeup of these characters.
What?
So originally in all of his adaptations, Sinbad is Muslim and comes from Baghdad sometime during the city's golden age, 762 AD to 1258 AD. In this version, he seems to be Greek. And not only that, but of the Greek polytheist religion, like Ares is a Greek whatever.
Yeah.
Proteus, his friend, Joseph Fiennes. He is the Greek prince of Sicily.
Okay.
Believe it or not, which places the story sometime between 733 BC and 212 BC. BC stands for before Christ. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did.
Initially, Russell Crowe was signed to be Sinbad.
That's bad too.
Yeah, because he would have done his Greek stereotype voice.
So cheer, baby cake. Have some wine, have some grape. Anything goes here.
But at least he would have been trying something.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Like, what? He's checked out. Like, he's just reading the lines.
I think he's faced with the stark reality that this is just not what he should be doing in any way, shape, or form. Because the joy of a good Brad Pitt performance is the incredibly subtle, non-verbal aspects of his performances.
The light behind his eyes, too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. You got to see him.
Yeah.
Mother, when he takes off the mask, you're like, wow, if this would have been a cartoon, this would have fallen apart.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
And it just, he's just not playing to his strengths in here. But Russell Crowe dropped out because in 2001, he was busy filming a movie.
Gladiator?
Gladiator was before this.
Master Commander?
That was not quite yet.
The Insider?
A Beautiful Mind.
Oh, jeez.
Kevin Spacey was considered for the role of Sinbad.
Oh, Kevin Spacey, my friend.
Again, not really great, but would have probably been better.
Yeah.
Because he's just got a voice. And John Leguizamo was considered for the role of Luca.
My name is Luca.
Luca's the old man.
The old
old
dad
man.
of Proteus?
No, the old man on the pirate ship.
Oh.
There's an old feller in there. Apparently around the time that this film was being made or came out, Sony and director Rob Cohen announced a live-action adventure, The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad, which was rumored to have Keanu Reeves on board.
People don't like this stuff anymore. This is holdovers from the 30s, 40s, 50s.
50s is generous.
This is not what people like anymore.
No. This is the type of shit, like when my mom was young and she grew up watching like the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
I missed 3 of them there. Like, and then we would watch that on Easter or Christmas or whatever and just be like, man, this is...
I like it when they say let my people go.
Apparently this was going to be one movie.
Yeah.
And then they intended to make 6 sequels.
Why?
For all 7 C's or whatever. And then this one, they were like, no, let's just not do that at all. This is gonna tank. I will say the hand-drawn animation in here is absolutely incredible.
It's fine. It's cool.
It's absolutely. The characters look like shit, but the actual fluid movement of the characters is top notch. You can see that this is an expensive movie. They don't do that anymore, though.
Man, I watch a lot of kids' movies, Jules. Because, I have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Disney adult. This is not a compelling movie.
No.
I watch a ton of movies with them, and most of them you're sucked in. Some of them are giant pieces of shit, and you peg it right away.
Yeah.
This movie has no hooks.
No.
There's nothing to pull you into it.
It's like this now, and then this now, and then that's happening, and then, oh, what about this? And then boom, bang, boom, bow.
It might as well be the 10 Commandments, which is probably, if you streamline that shit, might be pretty compelling. But boy, this thing is dull.
In order to get a U rating in the British Board of Films,
U?
that's the rating. Yeah, U.
That's their G?
Yeah.
U? For like underage?
They had to cut the headbutt performed in the opening action sequence. An uncut 12 years and upwards rating would be the lowest that would allow the headbutt to be kept in. You know what? Hit me with that synopsis.
Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. While attempting to steal the Book of Life from his friend Proteus, Joseph finds, for some broker or something, Sinbad, Brad Pitt, is thwarted and instead inadvertently enters into a pact with heiress Michelle Pfeiffer to steal the book, again from Proteus, but this time from his castle instead of his ship. But Sinbad is framed for the theft before he can steal the book, and as Proteus claims the law of switching places with convicted criminals or whatever, Sinbad must now race against time to attempt to steal the book from heiress in order to save Proteus. So batten down your hatches and shiver me timbers, because adventure awaits for Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Adventure waits?
Yeah, it never wakes up. So yeah, they're Sinbadding around on their ship, and they're gonna go attack another ship because there's a Book of Life on this ship.
Isn't it interesting that Sinbad's like a dickbag? Like he sucks.
Kind of feels like a rapist.
What?
Kind of feels like a rapist.
I'm sure everybody was back then.
Yeah.
Not you and me. We
No.
were back then. No.
We would.
Nope.
do
We'd
this,
say
shake our
no.
heads,
We're not interested in that.
I don't like that shit. So they board the ship. They're fighting. Everybody has swords, but of course they're not killing anybody. And we find out that Joseph Fiennes' his character is on this ship because he's transporting this book that's magical or whatever. We don't know really anything about it. Sinbad tries to steal it, but Ares is there as well, and she has a big squid or something. And she's like, go do stuff. And it fights them and pulls Sinbad under the water. And he's drowning to death, but then she saves him like an Aquaman. She creates an orb around him that he can breathe within. She seduces him. She gives him a chubber.
She's so hot.
She goes, listen, I need you to steal this book. I know you were about to steal it, and you really could still do it because my animal creature isn't actually dead, so it could just go whatever. I need you to go steal it again, though, and if you do that, I'll make you so rich that you can buy Fiji.
Instead of just going to Fiji?
Yeah.
And he's also like, how about you give me nothing and I just eat your butt?
She goes, nah, I just pooped.
I'm not clean down there.
So he goes, okay, I guess. And so he goes to Proteus's crib because his dad looks like Thor's dad, and he's going to marry Catherine Zeta-Jones. But yeah, she's got a real hard on for the sea. She says, isn't it beautiful? He goes, yeah, my city rules. Oh, you meant the sea? Dumb bitch. That's what he said. I'm just quoting.
Right, that's what he said. She wants to live in a houseboat.
She does, and she's like,
she didn't see Drop Dead Fred. She doesn't know about the problems.
Yeah, so they, right. So, or that, you got to live in St. Paul to do that sort of thing. And so they go into the party, and everybody's just chilling out, and Sinbad shows up, and they're like, yo, man, you can't be here. And he's all like, nah, it's cool. Bet you $10 that your boss is going to tell you to let me in. And he goes, I'll take that bet. And he goes, hey, let him in. But he never says to him, you owe me $10 or anything. It's like, why do we set that up if there's no payoff?
Someday.
In the 8th C, the 12th C, they got to let it build a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he goes, all right, word. We're just hanging out. I'm about to marry this chick. My dad's super old. I believe in you as a man. And then all of a sudden, the Ares just decides, yeah, I'm just going to break in and steal this damn book myself.
It's not Ares.
Yeah, Ares. Ares
God
is
of
the
chaos.
God of war.
This nice lady. I didn't say
yeah,
that.
She's cool.
Nice
she's totally dope. Yeah.
God of chaos.
She'll give you like, she'll pull that quarter out from behind your ear. You go, whoa, I didn't know my ears were that dirty. And so she's like toying with some dude. She pretends like she's Sinbad, which doesn't really, I guess, does matter if he wakes up and remembers that she would look like Sinbad. So she's.
I don't think I remember this part.
So he goes, oh yeah, that's Sinbad or whatever, yeah. So anyways, they're like, hey, the book's gone and we know Sinbad stole it. And Sinbad's like, I didn't steal it yet. And they go, okay, well, you're in jail now and we're going to kill you. And Joseph Fiennes goes, no, I'm going to invoke the laws of perversion or whatever.
Switcheroo.
Tenet.
Oh. Yep.
I'm going in reverse now, Dad.
The poops go up my butt. The bullets come out my body.
Yeah. Don't think about it. I think they're saying there. And he goes, well, so I'm going to take his place and you're going to kill me instead. And his dad's like, what?
We don't want to do that. Why, you really going to do that for this piece of shit over here that clearly cares about nobody?
He goes, yeah, because you know what? He's going to go get the book back. And Sinbad's like,
hey, look, I will not be responsible for your life. You would do the same for me. No, I wouldn't.
I'm not going to do it. Don't make me responsible for this.
So then he goes to kind of escape, but Catherine Zeta-Jones stows away on his ship.
And he's like, this is entrapment?
Yeah.
Get it? You get
it? Yes. So he goes, okay, you know what, lady? You're going to give me all these jewels to go save your boyfriend. I'll roll with that. And he finds out that she bribed the entire crew. So now they're rolling to actually do the damn thing. And there's some adversity that they meet and overcome. I think at one point sirens are luring them.
Yeah,
but
you didn't catch any of that? They're like,
I don't know where I was, but I wasn't there.
Floating along, and there's these weird ghost-like creatures that come out of statues and fall into the water. And then all the guys are like bonered up, like, oh.
Come and get it, ladies. Come with me. We'll speak of love.
Men.
They keep trying to like fall off the boat.
Wow, I missed all of that.
It's terrible, and her and the dog team up to like rope them up and save them.
Yeah.
And then eventually they get out of the siren zone.
Yeah, because women aren't affected, or dogs. So that happened, I guess, and then
they get to the Big Fish Island.
There's like a storm at some point that they survive as well, and then they roll up on the big fish. Real big fish.
It will come on and land on me on the big fish.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, I was like really buying this movie up until this. I was like, this is just unbelievable.
You got me for a second. I was like, wait a minute. You like this?
There's a point later on. So they get to this thing and they're like, we made it. And then all of a sudden, Eris is like, razzle dazzle, and everything's frozen. And Sinbad bumps into Dennis Haysbert's character. Dennis Haysbert's character, yeah, he never has a shirt on. He's got real round nipples. And he says something to the effect of, put a shirt on or you'll poke an eye out, because it's erect. There's a rat. There's a guy named Rat on the poop deck as well. He's played by some Italian guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it makes him seem like maybe he's Mexican.
Yeah, or Asian.
But he says things that are slightly Mexican, but not the way that they're actually meant to be said.
They always says bada boom at the end.
And he goes, Signor Rasta, or some shit like that. That guy was played by Adriano Gianni. So a pretty well-known Italian actor.
Nice.
Jim Cummings is actually the guy who voiced Luca. He's an old man. They end up fighting. All of a sudden, a big snowbird comes down, and it turns into Black Myth Wukong.
I hate this snowbird. Listen, I would like to say Moana is pretty similar to this movie in that it's she's like floating around in the sea and running into weird things, and it's exciting. It's a little boring in the first like 10 minutes. It's compelling, and all the characters are likable, and you're exciting about the journey, and the payoff is amazing. This movie is not that. Every time they introduce a monster, it's terrible. You're like, this is boring and it sucks.
Because this movie's got like some real weird tonal shifts. It almost feels like you're at any moment expecting like the Robin Williams character to start rapping or something.
What's the Robin Williams character?
There isn't one. But I mean, it just feels like Aladdin. And, you know, like I said, he's like, they're saying things that are like sort of contemporary here and there. And it's really slapstick, but it's also like feel good. I don't know.
You think this is a feel good movie?
Like their romance and how everybody's like, make up with her and all that shit. It's like real bro stuff, you know? But so he climbs up this thing, and there's this big ass bird that captured Catherine Zeta-Jones. Did you think they were going to use that shield sled?
No, but as soon as they started snowboarding, I was like, of course they are.
Yeah, as soon as he's like, I don't have a plan to get us down, and he's wearing a shield.
When did this come out?
2001.
Really?
No, Jason, I'm lying to you. Well, 2003.
Thank you, because I feel like full frontal and
nudity. Yeah.
It seems a little late to be this shitty late 90s movie.
It's like I couldn't imagine a child would be interested in this.
Fuck no.
At all.
I was actually super excited to watch this with my kids. Max, when I read the synopses to him, he's like, okay. And, like, you know, there's monsters.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
As soon as like, I'm like, all right, I got to watch that movie. You want to watch that movie? He's like, no. He's watching Camp Lake Bottom. He's got no interest in Sinbad.
Yeah.
He would look at my computer once in a while, but he had no interest.
There's like, I don't know, none of the daring is all that do in here, and none of the morals really hold water.
The adventure's boring. The monsters are boring.
Yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer's hot.
Awful, except for Michelle Pfeiffer. And Catherine Zeta-Jones' character is pretty well actualized as well. But
Joseph Fiennes, it's like, why is he even in here? Why did you pick a name for him?
Right.
He's like so flat.
Yeah. And so they end up just defying the laws of gravity while they're sledding down this mountain.
It's so awful.
They're dropping like 90 feet. and just.
I was thinking about this. I was like, well, you have to trick that monster into dying, because eventually it's just going to follow you.
It does die too.
Right.
Its head gets crushed. And they show it too. It's super gross.
Brains everywhere.
Yeah. And then they crash through the sail of the ship because they're going like 300 miles per hour and they're falling hundreds of feet.
Yeah. It seems bad that they ruined those sails.
And then all of a sudden these rocks fall and it breaks the ice and they can get out of there. So they're sailing. Him and that lady are falling in love, even though she's betrothed to Joseph Fiennes' character.
Who's a good person, right?
Yeah, he's a total nice guy. They get to a point where they're like, okay, it's the end of the world. We're going to fall off this cliff. And the guy goes, $10. I told you it was flat.
Jules, did you know that this movie is responsible for the flat earth conspiracy?
No.
I read it online.
That's really disheartening.
Yeah, this movie got into all the... And it's not true. I made that up. But
there was a point earlier when they spear that big fish and it's dragging them super fast.
Yeah.
And they go...
For a long time.
Like way too long. We gotta so it goes on for a long time and then it jumps time and it's like, yeah, we should probably stop doing this.
For like a half a day, day.
And they're vomiting. And the dog throws up. And you can hear a line 80 yards off screen where he goes,
we should eat that dog puke. There's food in there.
Hey, where did he get the carrots? Because earlier in the movie, we come to find out all they eat are eggs and pickles.
Oh, you're going to get scurvy.
Yeah, you need at least an orange or two.
Do you know what happens to scurvy?
Yeah, your gums get all weird.
No, all your scars open up.
And
all your
your
scar tissue on your body just opens up.
Yeah, and your gums. Your teeth get weird.
Yeah, and your gums. And your teeth
they fall out.
Well, what about the scars opening?
I mean,
that's horrifying.
That's uniformed.
What? But you think you've been healed perfectly, right?
No.
And then you get scurvy and your body's like, JK, bloop.
Why do your scars open? I mean, they're scar tissue. They're closed.
Well, maybe that's
Do you just get open wound sores?
I don't know why, but I've heard that.
Well, there you go. So they instead of falling off, Sinbad uses his brain and they create wings on his boat.
With the sail he ripped.
It's a good thing he has like those accordion style like Asian sails because they make great wings. Mm-hmm. And they just fly up to heaven.
Wait, is it heaven or Julian?
Yeah.
Is it a vaginal opening into Ares herself?
Well, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Hotel California.
Okay. It's
I
very,
don't know, dude.
You don't ever think of that when it's just like a glowing slit? You aren't like, well, that's a vagina.
No, I'm not like that.
Oh.
I go the other way. Through the...
Butthole?
And so he goes, I'm about to go roll up in this shit. And she goes, yeah, I'm going with you. And the dog goes, yeah, me too. And he goes, nah.
I gotta go to the chaos zone.
To the twilight zone. So they go up in there. And Eris is like, yeah, look, you're a douche. And I'm going to tell you what.
Let's play a game. And if you win, I'll give you the Book of Peace.
If you get this book, I don't know, something. But if you don't, are you going to go back home and sacrifice yourself for your friend? Or are you going to sail off with this chick?
You just have to tell me the truth. If you tell me the truth, you can have the book and leave.
I will go back.
She goes, you liar.
You're a lying bitch, Simby.
Yep. So he gets on the boat and he goes back. And his friend...
Good name, Simby?
Simby.
That's good.
And his friend, the Proteus, they're like, get on that chopping block because we're going to cut your noggin off. And he goes down and his dad's just like, oof, I don't like this.
I'm raising like this.
And then all of a sudden when the guy's about to hit him with the axe, a knife hits the axe.
What? Oh, a knife hits it? I thought it was just like magic made it shatter because it's crazy.
That's later. He has an axe first and a sword the second time after the axe is broken. Because the axe gets broken and the blade right into the ground. And Proteus sees the reflection of himself in there. And he goes, what? And they look up and Sinbad's coming up. I'm here to die. And they go, okay, word. And then they put his ass on the chopping block. And the guy's got a scimitar now. And he's about to cut his shit. And when it seems like, oh yeah, he's actually going to let him kill him, the sword just disperses into a Michelle Pfeiffer like blossom of shards of glass, and everybody gets in their eyes. And they're all blind except for one man, and he leads. He only has one eye though. He's the king. And Eris shows up like, hey, damn it, you're actually going to fucking do this? What the hell, bruh?
You're ruining everything.
And he goes, yes, I am, damn it, and you are bound by your word, which is bond. And she
because
goes,
it turns out the thing I said that I was going to do, that I was going to come back, I did do it.
and I did it.
And they're going to cut my head off, and I was like, that's cool.
I did it out of spite as well, so maybe it doesn't count. So she goes, all right, dickhole, here's the book. And he lifts it above his head, and he just goes fucking Super Saiyan level 4 Hame Kameha on that shit. It's just shooting light out. That's doing something. Is the word poisoned? I don't...
And she starts writhing, and her legs open up, and they start making love.
Yeah, they scissor lock. And they're stuck like that for the rest of their lives. And everything's cool now, and Sinbad's like, all right, well, we're going to get out of here. Joseph Fiennes like, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm a cuck bitch.
And then he goes, I'm going to get to that. He gets Catherine Zeta-Jones, and he goes, you don't look good. She goes, yeah, I actually want to leave you to go with Sinbad. He goes, word. And then all of a sudden this guy comes up. He's like, sir, we've installed your throne. Although it looks suspiciously like a cuck chair. What the hell? He goes, yeah, I just want to watch. And so she goes
off. If I can't
off.
have her, I want to see.
And her and Sinbad probably date for a little bit and then break up.
He lives on an island.
They dated before.
She goes mad. What?
Yeah.
Was that true?
That's what they said. Because Dennis Haysbert, when they're on the ship, somebody goes, oh, what's up with that? And he goes, yeah, they dated before. But you never get that impression through any of their interactions.
They just met each other.
They may have just threw that in at the last moment. So the movie's over. Yeah. And
you love it?
If I never see
another Brad Pitt movie?
Brad Pitt again. Not even a movie. Him in general.
He's a little shitter.
I
really feel
I lost a lot of respect for him.
Brad Pitt's a bad dude.
Kind of feel like it too. Just gallivanting around.
It seemed like a good idea a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I bet you he hit Angelina Jolie, punched her in the mouth.
Can we?
I thought he was badass from that other movie.
Are we going to jail for?
Yeah, we're going to cut
this
all
in the
this
podcast.
Out. Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I'm in charge.
No, don't do it.
I'm the man now, dog.
You are. I feel like he's huffing his own gas, and
I'm feeling
rightfully
dirty.
So. But
man, we're starting to get into like the more interesting stuff, though.
Hopefully, because so far it's been completely uninteresting.
And by we're getting to the interesting things, I mean next year, not this year.
Is this the last one?
Last Pittsmouth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be 5 next time.
What do we do this time?
We
10?
end on Babel. Yeah. Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, Babel. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We haven't seen Angelina since she fucked Matt Damon in the dirt.
That's
and
true.
Like,
Pepper.
We like this girl now.
Right?
That was not her name.
Butterfly? No. Whiskey?
Stop. I'm trying to remember. Birdie? I don't know. That's Tupac and above the rim.
I think it's Pepper.
It's not Pepper. You're thinking of Pepper Potts from Fireman.
No, actually, that's not what I'm thinking of. But it's what you said is probably
Clover.
Better. Boom.
Clover. I hate this movie.
Yeah. After his bullshit cameo in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, steamrolling into this fucker. God, I'm like...
Next week's Troy, though.
That's just a live action this.
It might be cool. Is Ridley Scott? Did he do Kingdom of Heaven? Who did Troy? I don't even know. Drunk. Okay. What do you... This movie's a 4. It's dull.
It's like I said.
If you were little and you ran out of shows, this might be okay. But you wouldn't like it a ton?
Yeah. I mean, if I played with diarrhea and I was missing a portion of my brain, this would be up my alley, Yeah, I'd give it a 4, too. Like I said, the animation is pretty well done. It's unfortunate that the character models look just stupid.
The CGI blend with the traditional animation looks awful, though.
Like Dennis Haysbert's character, even when they're in the ice, he puts on a fucking scarf. Just put a shirt on. Why is this like some weird racist thing? He's some, because he's kind of speaks sort of like stilted.
What happened down there?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
God, you guys are the worst. What do you give Brad Pitt's voice?
It's awful.
Yeah.
This is the worst Brad Pitt performance yet.
Yep.
3.
I was going to go with a 2. I'm going to go with a 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate your guts.
It just...
I bet he knows it too. You know what? I bet all those adopted kids didn't like this movie either.
I bet you he knew it. He had an inkling of it. And the more it went on, like in the first couple of weeks of recording, he was just like, I can't do anything with this. So join us next week for whatever.
Troy.
It's a movie about Troy Aikman.
Oh.
in the 1990s Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
Triple threat.
really?
Yeah.
Is there ninja stars?
It wouldn't be a Troy Aikman movie without ninja stars.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Why don't you go to our link tree? linktr.ee/we do 'em filmographies.
Yep.
And
At
then
gmail.com.
Yep. You can text us at 763-634-1897. Say something nice or mean. Don't say something mean.
Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts, as well as a movie suggestion. If it turns out that you aren't a liar and the review posts, we will watch that movie under the very specific caveat that it must absolutely never be a movie that we've already seen, because then we're just going to ridicule you.
Can you do us a favor? Can you just lie to your friends and forward them an episode and be you'll really like this show?
Just take your parents' phone,
Uh-huh.
log in and do it on their phone.
Yeah.
So then because then they do it themselves, of course, but then they do it on their parents' phone, and that's two.
If you could trick people into listening to the show.
Honestly, if you just legitimately introduce people to this show, they're going to love it. I mean, come on.
Hasn't happened yet.
Because people haven't been telling people.
I think
They've been hiding it. This is that pure shit.
We'll see you next week.
He's been Jason.
I've been Jules.
And